I was always taught there's 3 things you should always guard/protect. And that's your time, your energy, and your emotions. The 3 things you should always keep guarded: time, energy, and emotions. And you highlighted most of that. You guys, you only have so much of each of those to give. It's not, I didn't say money. I didn't say you got to guard your money. I didn't say you got to guard your, other things that are material. Because most of that you can get back. You can freely give money and receive money. So who cares? But you'll never get back the minute ago. You can't get back certain emotions that the drain of the emotions you've already expelled. All you can do is move on, right? And you only have so much energy to give. Some have more, some have less. So what is draining on your emotions and your energy? And how much is that causing you to lack in your productivity? You understand that moving on is basically like pruning. We prune things so we can sort of leave behind the quote unquote, dead stuff. Whatever's weighing down the plant and keeping it from growing up and taller, we prune those down. That's why you have to prune trees and prune flowers and so forth. Otherwise, they get so heavy, they can't actually grow anymore, and then they just die. So it's necessary to do that. And by definition, moving on means you actually have to leave something to go to the next thing. Now, that doesn't mean you have to leave certain things forever. I'm going to Disney World. I will leave my house for 1 week and I will come back. But at the same time, there are certain things that you have to move on from and just leave behind. I was talking about some old friends who love to live in the old times. They love to get into their video games. They love to play old things that we used to play in college, like poker and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with any of those. But when people say, oh, you remember when we used to do this? We should do that again. I personally have no interest because I like my now. I don't look at the old times like those were the good days when it was easy and I didn't have kids. If you don't like your now, it's kind of your fault. And that sounds mean. I've had life hit me. Lafayette's had life hit him. But it's how you choose to deal with what it's handed to you determines on whether you like your life now. My life's not perfect, or like where you're heading. People who always want to go back and can't let go of things, it's almost like they just can't leave it behind. It's like, oh, I remember being so good then. Do you though? Because when I was in college, I was really, really broke, and I never ate anything good, and some of my friends were toxic. And we forget about those things. Yes, I had a lot of time to play video games and listen to music, but I had to leave those things behind eventually. And now this is all incrementally. I didn't just leave everything behind at once. You just make small decisions day by day by day, and you move forward. But we all have those friends, and I was just talking about this with my wife, who always reach back to these things, and they said, it was so great. I'm going to get back on there and play these games till 4 a.m. And all I had to say is, that was great when you were 20. Now we have kids, and I'm moving forward with my life, not wasting energy and time and emotion on those things, because I like my now, and I want to like my tomorrow even more than I like my now. And you have to move on to like your tomorrow. You have to be willing to prune, to cut the dead weight. I had a parent of my son plays lacrosse, and another parent whose son used to play owns this wealth management company, and boy, are they wealthy. And I would ask for business advice when I was new in business. And one of the things he told me was, hey, look, when we were getting ready to hire an employee, he said, hire slow, but fire quick. I'm like, that's usually the opposite what I would have thought. He's like, take your time, hire the right person. But when you he's like, you're going to fight this, because I still do, because we love people. Yes. But when you finally let go of that relationship, you'll look back and say, I should have done that a year ago. When you know it's time to move on, move on. He said, me not letting people go from my company actually hurts them just as much as it hurts me and my company, because they're obviously not ready to move on. You cannot fix people who do not take feedback, because from their perspective, they have no problem. And so, as far as they're concerned, there's just nothing to fix. So guys, I know I'm talking a lot about associations and habits, but those are the things that form your life. When I think of moving on, you have to be willing to prune, because that's what's going to make you beautiful.